How does it go?
Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night.
May become a wolf when the wolf bane blooms.
And the autumn moon is bright.
So you know that one too, huh?
Anyway, so, yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the show. And if you're counting, yes, this is the 50th episode of This, the Ridiculous World of J.J. Abrams, and it could be monumental. Wait. Shit. I used this sequence a moment of celebration in the 30th episode when we talked about Clueless, which was awesome. And I don't want to be going over old ground again, so let's try mixing it up maybe to pay tribute to the subject matter at hand. Ready?
Have fun! That's an order!
Okay, so with it being a milestone episode, I thought we would mark the occasion by talking about my favourite werewolf movie of all time, The Wolfman from 1941. And as we're all the way back in the 40s, I went with the black and white look for this episode, so don't worry, there's nothing wrong with your screen.
No shadings and greys, all blacks and whites.
There's nothing quite like the old black and white horror movies from Universal. And before I go any further, I'm not here to go knee deep into the history of the Universal monsters or the origins of horror movies in general. I just wanted to focus on my favourite of the bunch, The Wolfman. So to name a few, no Dracula, Frankenstein's monster or the Mummy in this episode. I mean, check them out, they are legendary after all, like the grandparents of horror or something like that. But if the purpose of this video is to try and persuade you to go back and watch an old black and white horror movie, I think The Wolfman's a solid place to start.
Solid.
And with that said, if you do decide to give this movie a try, I don't want to spoil it for you by going through the whole thing from start to finish, but there is a few things that I do want to talk about or mention that could be considered spoilers, so I'll leave these till later in the video and I'll give you a fair warning too.
Thank you.
Okay, wow. That ended up being a much larger intro than I'd hoped for, so let's get right into it, and I'll start off by saying, as you probably know, I love werewolf movies. And while there's probably a gajillion out there that I haven't seen yet, I've seen a few, and The Wolfman from 1941, on my scale of best werewolf movies of all time, has still not been topped as of yet. To begin with, the main star, Lon Chaney Jr., is outstanding.
Doctor, do you believe in werewolves?
He plays the part of Larry Talbot, an unfortunate chap that gets bitten by a werewolf and, well, I mean, yeah, turns into the Wolfman. Quick side note, Lon Chaney Jr. was the son of Lon Chaney, a legendary actor from the silent era that was in hundreds of movies up until he died in 1930. I say this because you may notice that I'm sometimes calling Lon Chaney Jr. just Lon Chaney without the junior. I don't know, it's just a mouthful to say Lon Chaney Jr. every time I want to be saying the name of the actor, even though he is credited in the movie as just Lon Chaney without the junior.
Junior?
Anyway, back to The Wolfman. The performance we get for this guy's what draws you in. He's so enjoyable to watch. A great actor. He does so well playing the part of this tragic character that you actually care about him, feel sorry for him, and you want things to go his way in the end. I mean, I say that, but right at the start of the movie, he's spying on this unsuspecting woman using a telescope. It happens by accident, but still.
He's a peeping Tom.
Anyway, the story in a nutshell is that Larry's returned home after living in America for 18 years, and when he gets back to his family estate in Wales, he lives there with his father, Sir John Talbot, played by Claude Rains.
Welcome home, Larry.
I'm mighty glad to be here, Father.
Claude Rains?
I fucking love that guy!
Talk about great actors. Claude Rains is something else. Top class performer of the very highest standard who just about steals every scene that he's in.
When it comes to the heavens, there's only one professional.
I know at the start of the episode I said I wouldn't talk about the other Universal monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Mummy, but I didn't say anything about the Invisible Man.
How do you like that, eh?
I mention this because not only was Claude Rains Larry Talbot, or the Wolfman's dad, but in 1933 he played the Invisible Man.
All right, you fools.
That's another one that I would seriously recommend if you end up going down the old black and white route.
You brought it on yourselves.
The movie's good, but you watch it for Claude Rains, which is ironic because you can't see him. It's just that voice of his.
We'll begin with the reign of terror.
And it's the same in The Wolfman. It's not just the sound of his voice that's awesome though, it's the way that he speaks too. That well-pronounced and very proper thing that he's got going on is very commanding and demands your attention.
You policemen are always in such a hurry.
And that's one of the points that I wanted to point out. while I'm sure you've probably seen images or clips from this movie at some point over the years, it's not a movie that lacks substance and has to rely on its gloriously fog-covered sets for its atmosphere or needs to lean on its memorable effects makeup by Jack Pierce to keep you watching till the end.
Oh, naturally.
For me, it's the outrageously enjoyable performances from the cast that really help bring the movie to life, and even though it came out in the 40s when movies maybe had a slower pace than what we're used to nowadays, any scene that maybe lingers slightly doesn't lose your attention. If anything, it's the longer scenes that are the most enjoyable when we're getting a bit of backstory or werewolf lore.
A werewolf can be killed only with a...
And this movie is packed with werewolf lore.
Everyone knows about werewolves.
Anyway, every cast member's enjoyable in The Wolfman. Even the characters with only one or two scenes, so much so that it feels like there's no throwaway characters, even though there are, like Jerry Williams.
This is Jenny Williams.
That made no sense at all. Moving on, do you know who pops up in this movie? Bela Lugosi.
Can't tell you anything tonight.
It's only a small role, but come on, it's the man himself, the OG Dracula, the Prince of Darkness, the...
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
So Bela's great, not in it for long, but he brings that sort of mysteriousness to the part and helps add a wee bit of something extra to the formula.
I will not disappoint you, my lady.
We also have the delightful Evelyn Ankers who plays the part of Gwen, the love interest of Larry's.
How about the little dog? That would suit you.
I mean, I say love interest. Remember I mentioned earlier that Larry was looking at someone through a telescope? Yep, that's Gwen.
Oh.
Anyway, so Evelyn Ankers is good. I like her. The character of Gwen does eventually fall into that sort of classic damsel in distress category, but I feel like there's more to the character than that. She knows quite a lot about werewolves too and makes a great point in this scene.
Little Red Riding Hood was a werewolf story.
Sticking with the cast, there are other notable performances from big names from the time too. Some you may know from that era or later in their careers, like Ralph Bellamy, who was in Trading Places and Pretty Woman.
Watch out, Lewis. I'm gonna tear you apart.
Random clip for Ralph Bellamy there, but what I'm trying to say is that in The Wolfman, these great actors, whether their parts are big or small, definitely help the movie have a bit of weight or depth. Johnny, yes. I mean, even though The Wolfman only runs for an hour and 10 minutes, because of these performances, it manages to pull off a deepness that movies nowadays take 3 hours to try and accomplish.
Exactly.
So, before I declare the spoiler alert moment, I couldn't talk about the cast without talking about Maliva.
The wolf bit you, didn't he?
She's the one with the wisdom, the knowledge, and a wee bit like Claude Rains, you hang on every word she says. She's a wee legend.
Do you dare to show me the wound?
I put her in the same category as a Yoda or Mr. Miyagi or Splinter.
Cowabunga.
I love Maliva. I mean, who doesn't, right? She's always got that same look on her face, and given the nature of the story, she looks guilty as if she's hiding something. A secret. An amazing performance that's just so, I don't know, fittingly mysterious.
The way you walked was thorny. Go now. And heaven help you.
And given my habit of talking about movies where the cast have got names that I struggle to pronounce properly, my bad, apologies. I've been worrying about this part of the video since the very beginning. But here goes. Maliva is played by Maria Uspinskaya.
By George, I think he's got it.
I think that's right. Probably wrong.
That's funny.
So hopefully at this point in the video, you can see that I adore The Wolfman. Always have and always will. Like I said, it's my favourite werewolf movie of all time. It's really special to me, but it's not perfect. So this is your spoiler alert warning for a movie that's almost 100 years old.
Thanks. Good night.
Okay, so let me put it this way. When I watch a werewolf movie, I've got a checklist that I hope can be ticked off one by one, and 2 of the top 3 things on that list are a proper werewolf transformation scene and a shot of the full moon. And The Wolfman has neither.
What the fuck?
It's true. By the time Larry as the wolf is roaming the woods and all that glorious mist or fog, we've not actually seen him fully transform. The last thing we see is him sitting in the chair staring at his feet as they grow hairier and changing into werewolf feet. Wolf paws. I mean, don't get me wrong, the scene leading up to this feet-changing moment is awesome because of Lon Chaney's ability to show us how upset he is about what's happening without saying a word. I think that was his biggest attribute as an actor. The gift of being able to make you feel sorry for him when he looks so worried, tormented, full of despair. Oh, and the effects of the time were blow your mind shit. But despite all that, you don't actually see a face transformation. Anyway, moving on. Do you know something that's tremendously excellent in this movie that I cannot believe is taking me this long to announce? The music. I mean, it's as simple as this. Every single time any piece of music plays at any part in this movie, it's 100% 10 out of 10 perfect for the part that it's in. Some quick examples. How about the dramatic moment when the wolf's on the attack? Or this nice little piece that's used when Larry's talking to Gwen.
Protect me? From whom?
Me?
It's weird though when you stop and think about how their relationship actually began, because at the start when he's asking her out, she keeps saying no, but he just keeps trying.
We'll take a little walk tonight, then we'll talk it over.
No.
See you at 8.
No.
How about tonight?
No.
And she's engaged.
But it's only fair to tell you I'm engaged. I'm going to be married very soon.
Fine, I'll be here at 8.
Wolfman's a bit of a dick. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes, the music. It's epic. I've mentioned earlier that the cast are what keeps me coming back to this movie, but the music also has a part to play in that too. It's almost like a character itself. So memorable. So if you've never seen it before, are you going to give this movie a chance? I know that with it being old and in black and white, it can really put some people off, like they can't get into it, or maybe they see the different styles of acting that were used then to what we have now as hokey. It's a different time, I totally get that, I really do.
This mental quagmire you've got yourself into, what can I say to you?
But if you do decide to go down the rabbit hole of watching the old horrors from nearly 100 years ago, just to be on the safe side, watch The Wolfman from 1941 first. The acting's great, the story's simple yet engaging, and gets to the point without losing its audience. The dialogue between the characters, while yes is obviously not what you're used to nowadays, actually works in the movie's favour because it gives it that classic mystical sort of feeling, draws you into every tiny little word that's been said, in a way that only an old black and white movie can.
That's all Greek to me.
Well, it is Greek.
It's only on for an hour and 10 minutes too, so if you want to double up and watch The Wolfman and its sequel, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, you're looking at under 2.5 hours.
Dude, awesome.
Anyway, let's wrap this bad boy up. Firstly, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I've been wanting to talk about this movie for so long because of what it means to me, and I know that I've not talked about a million things that I wanted to get through, but I tried. Thankfully, there were more appearances from Lon Chaney as Larry Talbot in other Universal movies over the years, some better than others, but none for me can beat The Wolfman because it is awesome.
No, it's fantastic.
Anyway, as always, thanks for watching guys. Take care, and remember.
This is Jenny Williams.
Right, Halloween episode is done. What am I doing next? Well, of course there's a filming, of course. I suppose this is the part where I'm supposed to turn into some sort of werewolf. Well, here goes nothing. A bit of fluff flying about immediately. Fluffy. This is the 50th episode of This is the Ridiculous World of J.J. Abrams, and that was the worst. Take 2. Don't we try mixing it up a wee bit to pay tribute? Could be considered spoilers, so I'll leave these till the end. I'll leave these till the end of the video, and I'll give you fair one. I'll give you the fuck off. Claude Brains. Code Blue. But I didn't say anything about the Invisible Man. Worst take ever. Worst take ever. Why are my fingers so pink? My feet are cold. It managed to pull off a deepness that movie. Maria is played by. Nope, the Liza cut. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Bleh.